Hi, we're Darcy
and Jeff Anderson,
and we want to share part of our life story with you. This story is really a series of connections and coincidences which strengthen our faith. It provides evidence to us that God specializes in weaving the world together. Right now, our church is trying to buy the building we've been renting. The nonprofit that owns the building will use the money to build an orphanage in Mapalo, Zambia.
As only God's hand could weave it, Mapalo is a slum that Darcy and I visited on a trip to Zambia back in 2007. The name Mapalo means blessed in English. This is a new name meant to bring hope to an area which used to be known as Chipulakusu, which means cursed. Mapalo is home to about 65,000 people, 40% of whom are under the age of 15 due to AIDS and HIV wiping out so many of the older people. The area is full of orphans taking care of other orphans. The housing density is very high and the majority of homes are simple mud huts with makeshift roofing materials such as tarps, plastic bags, or whatever else could be found to shed water. It's difficult for these parentless families to feed themselves, let alone pay school fees or learn job skills. If there was ever a place that needs an orphanage, Mapalo is it.
The coincidences go much deeper than us visiting the location where this orphanage will be built. Our trip to Zambia was the result of becoming LifeWater International trainers. LifeWater asked us to go to Zambia to teach a sanitation class on how and where to build latrines to protect groundwater wells. The partner organization we would work with was known as Seeds of Hope. Completely independently, Vineyard Boise, which was our church at the time, started a partnership with Seeds of Hope as well. Our LifeWater trip coincided with the Vineyard Boise trip that same summer. Through the experience, we formed a close bond with everyone on the Vineyard Boise trip. One of those people was Rich Young. Rich has a big heart for kids and came home with a desire to start an orphanage in Mapalo.
Over the next couple of years, we bought a house in Boise and became part of Trademark Church, which was active in our new neighborhood. With the change in churches, we unfortunately lost touch with Rich. That was until I started researching the history of Trademark's building. It turned out that Rich's dad pastored a church in this building, and when he died, the building was part of a nonprofit that Rich inherited. We had been renting the building from Rich. By selling the church, Rich could now use the money and the nonprofit to build an orphanage, which he had dreamed of starting 6 years ago when he first visited.
So why are we sharing this story with you? It's a story that's not yet complete that you could play a part in. So far this year, our church has raised $200,000, and that's amazing considering the average age of our church members are 30 years old. We still have $100,000 left to raise by the end of January, and we're asking you to donate to this cause. Think of it as a 2-for-1. Buy an orphanage in Zambia and get a free church building, or buy a church building and get a free orphanage. It's a great story to participate in, and we hope you do.
Yes, sir.